Testing, testing. Test, test, test. Okay, I think that works. But I hear myself. Second. Monitor off. Okay. M. Okay, let's start as usual. By playing, by making a run. Let's do this in the release version, actually. So that I don't have this debug display, or maybe I should have it. Yeah, I should have it. Let's revert. Let's revert. Make. Okay. So I'm having this strange audio delays problem with OBS. Wonder if that shows up in stream. Well, if it gets worse, I'll check. Okay. So let me collect myself. I've just been working on the audio stuff, so my mind is elsewhere. But yeah, I've released a new test version, so check it out on the website. I'd be happy to receive feedback to the game, or technical otherwise. That would be awesome. And yesterday was a day of many little changes and tweaks. I played the game a whole bunch and noted issues and fixed them. There are still maybe 15 or so on my list that I'll have to do. Hey Wolf, how's it going? Love the ominous field of 8, it's so immersive. Field of 8. What do you mean by field of 8? Is that a typo? So I think I've gotten to 50% in the path yesterday, so that's not bad. It does get a bit boring that deep into the path. I mean, it's still challenging, but there should be... the game should introduce new things. But I'm thinking about that. Parallax layer on the previous floor. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's well, it's just 3D. Oh yeah, the 8s. Yeah, those are trees. yeah, those are trees. Now I get it. The 8s are trees. And yeah, so the bushes here look pretty similar, and I've swapped them a couple of times. But yeah, they are good enough as they are, so I'm not fussing. Well, that means they are as good as they get. With these, what are they? 3 by 5 pixel sprites. There's a trap. Avoided that. Got a key. Or sword. It's nice. What else did I do? Yeah, I made the larger dungeons linear, so they are all a loop now, which is mainly so that you don't get lost or you have to backtrack, which is annoying. Okay, I got a regeneration charm. That's good. Oh, that was bad. And I'm also still working on these spider colors. Still not happy. After 5 or so changes. I love the depth in general. First impression of the trees was confusing though. I mean, if you play it yourself and you move through the world, it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, these graphics are confusing at first, for sure. But I think it's more obvious if you're holding the controller. Oops. Okay, second one. Hunger charm. I have no potions, which is bad. I'm hungry. I have no food. On my run yesterday I had a lot of food, so I reduced it a tiny bit, the drop rate. But now I'm out. So that's how it goes. Is this rendered in 2D? No, this is a 3D. Just regular old 3D. Okay. Still no food. Uh-oh, I'm starving. I had just 1 health left. Okay, that's bad. Okay. So larger dungeons are linear now. The save files are a pain still. So if you have a save file from an obsoleted version, which should not happen often, then the game now creates a backup of that file before you have the chance to create a new game overwriting what you had. Starvation got me, yeah. That's how it goes. I didn't pay enough attention, I guess. And didn't collect enough food. That's the working hypothesis. The other option is, of course, that nothing dropped and I died because of that. But I don't think that's true. There should be enough food going around. Then, yeah, I added... That was a real pain yesterday. So I pushed the release version onto Steam so that I can privately test it on the clients. I played it on Ubuntu and it was lagging like hell. So it was running super slow and there were also audio dropouts, and that confused me because there were actually two problems. First, I didn't have the NVIDIA drivers installed, so it ran pretty slowly on the open source drivers, which is bad, but I mean, if you're playing 3D games, you should have your drivers installed, so that's nothing I need to fix immediately. But the second thing, much more annoying, is that Pipewire is... So Ubuntu is based on Pipewire instead of Pulse Audio. And Pipewire is unintuitive, to say the least. It has a Pulse Audio translation layer, but the defaults are completely broken. So my understanding is that it tries to... It has a fixed clock that doesn't wait for anyone for the audio samples. And if the game hitches, it falls behind. And Pipewire has internal logic to keep up with, or to pull the audio along, even though that it's not coming because there's a hitch in the game, and then the audio completely collapses. So that's let's say it's unintuitive, to be nice. But I added so there's a flag that you can set that fixes it, and I added that to the README. Working in an engine or framework. This is... Well, it's not really an engine, it's just... I wrote all the code myself. Yeah. So this is a C program. And... yeah, the code is by myself. I see. Yeah, so it's all bespoke, if that's the right word. But I do have the SDB org forbis audio library in it. So that's the only piece of external code, apart from the system libraries, of course. Okay, this should be a loop now, this dungeon. And it is. Okay, did I get something? Not really. Pico 8 font, it's inspired by the Pico 8 font. It's not entirely. I don't think Pico 8 has lowercase letters. But yeah. So the problem was I had 8x8, I think. So this went through many iterations. The sprites. I had 8x8, but 8x8 looked horrible, absolutely horrible. So then I went as low as I could and landed at Pico 8. Or the same pixel grid. And well, I mean, the downside is it's pretty hard to read, but it's a great limitation for sprites. It does actually. Alright, didn't know that. But yeah, I took the 3x6 font idea, and I just have, so I have one bitmap in the game, and in the editor I can paint in that bitmap, and I just paint it in the characters. And I've also changed them now and then. But yeah, there's only so much you can do with these. Yes, typo strength is strength. Oh. Thanks. Didn't see that. Was my... Great. Do I have a pen? Fix. Strength. Typo. In R stats. Thank you very much. Fix that later. Once I died a couple of times. More. Yes, that was the readme stuff with pipewire. That was extremely annoying, but that's how it is. Then, yeah, I've added the dark gray for the spiders in the palette. I didn't have a darker gray than these stones, so I added one for the spiders. I'm not sure if I'm happy with that, but it's in there now. Oh, then what else? That was actually all on stream still, I think. I changed the blindness radius. I feathered the edges so it's not as harsh. And it's a, well, I'm not sure what the shape is called in English, but it's not a rectangle anymore. So that looks much better, and it's less punishing, which is fine. Great. Oh, shield. At least a shield. Circle. Did I write circle wrong? Oh, circle. The shape. No, it's a trapezoid, I think. It's a diamond shape. I think it's called trapezoid. I'm not sure. But good guess. Actually, a circle would be better. But I am... let me think. Yeah, it should actually be possible. Not sure why I'm not using circles. I'm just using the... using what I have is basically Manhattan distance or float distance, and I think if I get the rounding right, it should be a circle. But yeah. Maybe I'll try that. Oh god. Diamond is the correct name. A trapezoid is like... Oh, I get it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, trapezoid is the cut-off pyramid. Okay. Into the... Yeah, it's a... Then it's the diamond shape. Okay, defense. I'm pretty good defended. Pretty good in defense right now. Oh. They're getting more clever. Even though I didn't program that in. Oh, that's bad. I'm not using the dagger. I don't know if I want to work on my Nest shader or play Stardew Valley. That's a hard choice. For context, I just woke up. Nest shader sounds nice. Is that a CRT shader or something like XBR or what kind of shader is it? PPU emulation. Okay, I have no idea what that means. I've heard PPU before, I think. Pixel processor unit or something. Might be totally wrong. So it's more technical than visual. Should I drink the potion? Oh, I should eat something. Okay, that's a dead end. And that as well. Wait. Where do I go? Down there. No, that's where I came from. Okay, this is confusing. I should bring in some gameplay. I should involve the following the path more into the gameplay itself. Oh. Ah. And a dead end. Pixel processing unit. I can store 64 sprites to render on the PPU. Oh, AM. Okay. Object attribute memory. Ah, okay, I get it. Yeah, I knew about the limited amount of sprites that cause flickering. But why sprite has 4 bytes, why index attributes X? So you're basically emulating the PPU in a shader. Or what are you doing? Because that sounds pretty complicated. Yeah, the shader renders the sprites. The data is handled on the CPU though. Okay. Sounds pretty awesome. So the NES emulators out there, I reckon they create their own frame buffer and just put that on the GPU. Would be the easy route, I guess, or more Not easy, but more integrated probably. And portable. Okay. Can I go there? Yeah. There's nothing. Okay, I'm at 20%. But that number jumped around yesterday for some reason. I think after I died it changed. Which is bad for debugging, of course. I mean, if you want to work on your shader, what I think, or how I feel is that I am most clear and most productive after waking up. So if I do really intensive programming, solving a really hard problem, I'll do that in the morning. I started working on it. Hopefully I get the sprite rendering very quickly. Awesome. Then good luck. Do you write it in GLSL or something else? Oh, starving. Oh, I'm almost out of food. I need food. Shaders in GLSL, but I'm using GameMaker. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a fun project. So are you using actual ROMs or do you have a test program? Oh. Spear, finally. 4 potions, that's pretty good. Too much medicine. Okay, dead end, of course. Test program. I'm only emulating the PPU, not the entire NS. That makes sense. That makes sense. I thought you might have an emulator. What's that then? Front end or back end? Attached to your project, but yeah. Poison. Maybe I'll use a potion. Food. Oh, inventory is full. That's bad. So let's drop potion. Refill. I just need NES graphics set up for a project. I'm overdoing it as usual. Okay. So it's part of a larger project. Do I want an axe? Don't think so. But yeah, I need charms tied to the weapons. Okay. What else did I do yesterday? After the blindness radius, I've removed some blocking path elements, so I just ran the path test and fixed those. And I've raised some walls in the overworld to make larger areas more interesting. I improved the layout of the control help screen. So yeah, so it looks like this now. It's still, it's not ideal, but it's better than it was before, and it's much better than it was before that. So yeah. This is of course pretty much non-amendable, so changing keys could be difficult with this. But that's a problem for another day. Better than no help at all. And then many other bug fixes and tweaks. Yeah. I'm not sure what those were, because they went by so fast. I just worked on my to-do list. Uh-oh. So now I'm blinded. Looks pretty nice. Almost looks like a circle. You still see kind of well. Maybe it's not harsh enough, but it's okay. The fact that monsters hunt you down, you could still wander in a dangerous area. Oops. Yeah, and that lock sounds much too loud. But I have that on the list already. There has to be a key. Oops. Let's drop this. A sword. Let's try the sword. And let's eat some food. And drink a potion. Oh wow, what's going on? That zombie nearly destroyed me. But it showed 4. As the damage, so it still rolls 4 for its attack roll. But that ghoul was pretty bad as well. So I'm almost out of potions already. Oh man, these hit hard. So I'll have to use more. Oh, yeah, that's it. So I was at 45% of the path. Still in section 1. Level 2, which is fine. But the potions didn't heal enough. So potions need to actually scale with the hero. The only... Oh, that's because of the penalty. Oh wow. So if you have too much health and you drink a potion, it only heals half of its usual value. But still, maybe I should remove that. That's pretty... That's counterintuitive. Remove potion and food penalty. Yeah, okay. So as for the actual work today, I have downloaded a audio samples for a jungle and for crickets. I pushed them through my audio effects chain, which is on the table over there, to make them more haunting and unique. I have the sound on this recorder, and now I have to get it off of the recorder, which is a pain. Because I need to... and I have the list on the other table, of course. But I think it was 3. The WAV files on this thing. Option... copy to memory card. Okay, that was one file. Did I copy 3? I think so. And then copy... number 5. And number 6. I think that's it. And of course this PC doesn't have a SD card reader. So I'll have to mount it on my laptop and I'll sync it over. That's the workflow. But I don't do that often, so it's fine. D-message. show me the SD card, please. Jesus. LSBLK. It's not there. Don't tell me that Debian can't read this. Oh no, it says card E624 removed. MMC 0. Okay. Mount. Device MMC doesn't exist. You're fucking kidding me. Okay, there's block 0. C block 0P1. Okay. Got it. It's MMC BLK 0P1. Private Sony, and then voice. Oh god. LS folder 3. No. 1. Yes. Sudo. No, I don't need sudo. Async 26 512 star Debian home ms. Maybe I should cd in the folder and don't use slight difficulties with finding the right folders. Almost got it. Okay, it's copying. So the idea is, first of all, I don't know if I want animal sounds in the background all the time, because it kind of destroys the haunting atmosphere. So let's just try it by having it run in Audacity in the background. So let's move these actually where they belong. Hello? Move 26 rec. Okay. Open. Well, I don't want. I want to import. Import audio. Not there. Yeah. So I have this one. What is this? Open another one. Not open, but import. I'm not using Audacity often, so bear with me. And another one. This one. Okay, mute, mute, mute. Let's keep this one in a loop. And if this is not arriving in OBS, I'm gonna have to have a crash out, but it does. Thank God. Okay, I'm going to pull up the volume here. While looking at stream. Test. I mean, it's actually pretty good. I just need it louder for myself. And that shouldn't change anything for you. Hopefully. Okay. Might click in the background because Audacity just skips. It doesn't fade when it loops. So let's just feel this. It's too loud. Oh, I can't grab this correctly. This is still louder. Restarting my laptop because the audio drivers just freaking conked out, I think. Alright. Good luck. Good luck on the restart. Okay. Test. Yeah, I mean, you should hear it fine. That's the balancing. I mean, nothing to do with your audio drivers. Usually I'm on PC, but the fan broke and my laptop's the only spare I have. That sucks. That sucks. So yeah, one idea was that I only have the birds here outside and nowhere else in the game. To keep the atmosphere really ominous in the game. So you're in the forest, but you don't hear birds. That might be too much. Not sure. Okay, of course it should stop in here. But there's a bug anyways. But let's jump in the game and see how it... Oops. That was stupid. Let's jump into the path and see how that feels. No idea. Audio now makes sense. That's good. So I'm not sure if I like the birds. Not how they sound, but if they should be there or not. I mean, it makes everything bigger. You feel like more in a place, so that's awesome. But it also dampens the danger a bit. Add birds to the game and play the audio when they are nearby. Yeah, that is of course an option, but that's also much more complicated and much harder to achieve a cohesive feeling when you have 200 different pieces instead of just one. But yeah, the sound effect of the birds right now is pretty much mono, but with a stereo reverb. That is suboptimal, but I could just use a stereo widening effect on it. FFmpeg has one of those that would then draw this out, but on the other hand, having them in the center or near the center creates a more claustrophobic feeling, like something's not quite right. And there's no stereo imaging in the game right now anyways, so Okay, let's try the other birds. I have other birds as well. So there are these. And why is Audacity not capable of setting the loop? So the ambience is much calmer. It's also pretty annoying with that one bird. I'm not sure if that's usable at all. The birds are fine, but yeah, but I think they make it better. The birds. Just need good birds. Yeah, I like this a lot. So, apart from the screaming bird, the singing birds are awesome. So that's actually pretty nice. And then what I have are crickets. Oh, come on. I only have a track point, don't have a mouse. So that's also complicating things for me here. Yeah, these crickets alone are pretty awesome. Make it so much more alive. Yep, but that's what I thought. This is... I can do this today. That's not a problem. It complicates some things and makes some things easier, and that is that it should be really sparse. So that means crickets, and that means one bird song that is pretty long, 2 minutes or something, and then maybe a second bird song. But one is... That's actually it. That's all I need. I need the crickets. I need one bird, and I need a second bird. They need to sound different. They need to sing differently. Possibly... they should have different pitches that they're singing in. And then what I'll do is I will round robin them so the idea is I have the turn of the hero, the turn number. If I throw that in a sine function, I get a wave, of course. And then I will chop this up somehow. I'll what is that? I will clamp it at 0, so I get little bumps, and in between these bumps I'll switch the sound deck between the 3 birds. Maybe I'll tie the 2 birds, I'm not sure about that. Maybe I'll tie the 2 birds to day and night. So then the player walks around the world. Underground there's nothing. Maybe I'll add a water sound or something. I could actually do that. A mud sound. Something like that. That works the same as the other 3. And then what this effectively creates, or what it fakes, is that there are areas in the world where nothing plays. There's no bird, there's no crickets. But then there are other areas where you can hear a bird, or you can hear the crickets. Play. And that all depends on not the area, which would be really hard to implement. I mean really hard. It would be hard. It would be much harder than what I'm trying to do. It's not dependent on the area where you are, what kind of ambience noise plays, but it's dependent on the player turn, so it will feel like different areas because the path is linear. So that's the idea. And I like the crickets very much. They're pretty awesome. Let's listen to this one again. This is already pretty sparse. There's not much going on. I don't like, I think that's the one I don't like as much. Okay, that's the crickets. This one. Yeah, I like that bird song. Perfect. I now have a shader sampling from the sprite bank texture correctly. Awesome. That was quick. That was quick. Next up is passing the attributes, palette, flip X, flip Y, background, foreground. I'm impressed. So yeah, I did some GLSL coding, but man, it's not for me. It's all in a single byte though, so I have to do okay. Okay, that's crazy. All in a single byte. I mean, while you work, I'll just sit here and listen to the birds a bit more until I actually do something. There's also 3 unused bits. Okay, I mean, flip X, flip Y is 1 bit. That makes sense. Oh, what is the... Is it the palette index? Oh, yeah, there are not that many palettes on the NES, no. 2 bits of palette, 0 to 3. Yeah, makes sense. Flip X, Y, background. Okay. So it's basically 1 bit for background, for foreground. 5 bits total, 3 unused. Okay. Can you just make a struct with a bit field? In C. To read that? I think so. The background bit is toggled, the sprite renders behind the background. Okay. Yeah, I was just first thinking color, but if it's just 1 bit, it has to do with the layering I can link a handy website that explains the object attribute memory. That's kind, but I'm not sure if I can pull useful information from that, but it's certainly interesting. And there's the NestDev forums, no? Or there's a huge wiki, I think. I have no idea why I know that, but I looked at it some years ago, I think. NestDev wiki, yeah, okay. So I need a bird song. And then I need to push it through my effects chain again. So I'll do that later, I guess. Make half of all world temples. Oh, of course, Audacity is still loud. Let's stop that. Chrome. What was it? Pixabay. Oh, I need sound effects. But tropical bird song. Okay, there's a bird. Let me shield your ears. Not sure how loud that will get. Pretty loud. But that one's pretty good. Song of a budgie. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. It's also electronic. I think that one is pretty good. I'm storing all my sprites in a binary buffer for optimal low memory usage. I doubt my Nest style games will have a huge performance cost, so I can afford to do more processing in the PPU class. Yeah, can you do bit fiddling in GLSL? Okay, let's just use this bird. It's pretty good. Free sound community. Check out license. Oh. Yeah, I've already added the other two sound effects. I think, I'm not sure if I'll use them now. Thanks to free sound community. So yeah, I read the license, I saved the license. Hummingbird. Ominous bird song. Nope. That's too normal. Nope, not melodic. That's the one I have, no? Yeah. Not that clean. Too short. Not tropical enough. Robin? Oh, nope. Too noisy. Rain? No. There's a website with bird songs on it. I'm not sure if I can use them. Amazonian. Well, either they don't have that much or their search function sucks. That's the one I have. What's this? Let me guess, that's classified by AI as a bird. Okay, that's too many. Yeah, this just repeats results. This is a fake search function? Or am I mistaken? Bird chirping. I want a bird song, please. Yeah, this doesn't work. Free, royalty free bird songs. Nope. Stock tune. Okay. Okay, discover completely free. Can I use bird songs? Not, no. I cannot make use. Cannot make use. Of course, it's not easy. Also, abysmal search function. Why does it default to bird? Tropical bird. Yeah, that's the neighbor's dog that has slight problems. Oh god, okay. This is proving harder than I thought. New Zealand. Dawn chorus. Auckland Island teal. Is this more like it? How do I get a license? Hello? Oh, okay. As long as I credit. Some of it can be reused without permission, but in some cases you must contact copyright holder. Unless identified as having third-party copyright or other licensed material on this website, can be reused under Creative Commons Attribution International. Okay. By means This means you can copy, adapt, as long as you credit and abide by the license. In all cases, material must be reproduced accurately and not used in a misleading context. So I can't change it. Oh, birdsong's files can be reused even commercially according to our copyright terms. Does that mean? Same terms? Okay, and I have to look at the labeling. Oops. Didn't mean to click that. Okay, so maybe I'll need to find a bird first. The fuck? Okay. What's wrong with the birds in New Zealand? Okay, that's a long one. Yeah, that's also not melodic. Robin, duck, wren, silver eye. Okay, it sounds like a normal bird. It's too noisy. Oh man, this is not going how I thought it would. That's a seagull. Well, I think New Zealand is not the place I had in mind. Okay, that's spooky. Not fitting. Oh man. What is the... What is the... I'm looking for the jungle atmosphere. Maybe there's a description of the birds in it. That is it. Nope. So yeah, who knows where they got this from. A comment or something? No. I need a tropical bird song. I have one, I think. This one. Or exotic. Exotic bird song. Okay, 3 seconds is a bit too little. And then we're lost. Wow. What's the other side? Sound. Sound something. I have this. Sound library online. And it's not free sound, it's not BBC, I think it's endemic. It's not boom. It's just sound ideas. Yeah, but these are collections. Exotic bird. Exotic birds, $60. Jesus. I know I would have paid $5 or so for the sound, for those 2 or 3 sound effects, but not $60. 700 megabytes. Okay. It's way too much. Exotic bird. That's probably exactly what I have. Okay. Yep. What's going on? I'm starting to lose hope. Okay, this website doesn't work. Horrible. Well, I mean, yeah, I think I'll look for them some more offline, so I don't have to worry about the volume all the time. It's gonna blow your ears. Might even try using the synthesizer to create bird sounds. Should be possible. Might actually be even better. But yeah, I don't have a setup to do that on stream. I think that's what I'll do, and then I'll showcase it tomorrow. I will also have to add some more sound effects because they are becoming stale. But yeah, so then I'll go offline. I'll work more on it. I know it's a short stream, but yeah, I'm kind of bound by the audio setup. Annoying. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow. So thanks guys, thanks for watching. Good luck, Wolf, on your NES shader quest. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye forever. Goodbye. Bye bye. Bye guys.